Got some pork ribs here, and I just trimmed off most of the fat off there. Ooh, a little splitch there. But I also, in the back here, I removed the sort of skin that's on the back of the ribs here. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Welcome to my kitchen, guys. We're doing something simple, tasty, and fun in the oven. Ribs. Barbecue ribs. I know people are going to say, well, there's no smoke, there's no this. Watch me. There's all kind of good things going in this here. So you're going to get a ton of flavor and falling off the bones. Let's get cooking some barbecued ribs in the oven. We're just going to make a sort of a rub to go in this. Preheat, well, you know what, don't preheat your oven yet because we've got to allow this to marinate for about a couple hours in the refrigerator. But we will be using the oven at 300, so 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Big bowl, black pepper, fresh ground black pepper, some spicy. So this is a smoked paprika, but it is a hot one. And we get a nice kick from there because we're not going to be using any Caribbean sunshine in this bad boy. We got some ground ginger and some ground nutmeg, as well as a bit of ground allspice. So ground allspice, ground ginger, and nutmeg. It's all in there. Brown sugar, sea salt, and I like using some fresh thyme. You can use dry thyme if you want, but I just love the fresh thyme. Just going to give that a really good mix because we want all that flavors. And you can use the back of a spoon to sort of press down on it. And what that's going to do is it's going to help release more flavor from the spices that we have in there. And it's also going to help release some of the oils from the fresh thyme. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this piece of rib in half. Let's find the bone. There we go. Don't want to do. You're not going to be a pain in the. So I've got two pieces of that lovely pork rib, and I'm just going to go on the underside first. As I mentioned, I took off the sort of membrane that's on the back of the pork ribs here. Just going to spoon on some of that lovely dry rub. And you really want to get your fingers in there to work it all in. Work! That's a house song from back in the early 90s. The boy was a house music man back in the days. I used to be in London, Ontario, doing my thing with them guys from across the border. Couldn't touch me though. All them Detroit guys that used to come across to Sanya and all that. Hey, good times, good times. Flip it over. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. And after you're done with that, put it in some plastic wrap. Put it in the refrigerator. Wrap them up. Put it in the refrigerator to marinate for a couple hours. Now you may notice I'm using my chopping board here. Rest assured, it will be washed with soap and water. I've got some heavy duty tin foil, and all we're going to do now is pretty much wrap this up in that tin foil. Seal it in there. Make a sort of a parcel with it. Fold that over. Nice and sealed up in there. And I'm going to put it on a baking tray. Middle rack, 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. My two parcels are already 300 degrees Fahrenheit, middle rack of the oven for 2 hours. You'll also need some of your favorite barbecue sauce to finish off these ribs with. Just over 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, let it go for 15 minutes extra. And you're going to start to see the meat start to pull away from the bones and everything there. Here is where the fun really starts. So we've got all that flavor in there. Now we want to get that sort of caramelized topping on there. So what I did was the same baking sheet I used. I lined it with a bit of tin foil. I have a rack. I'm just going to place these on the rack. Put the broil setting on in my oven. And we're going to start giving some good barbecue love to this. Get your favorite barbecue sauce. It's just a matter of basting these guys with all that beautiful barbecue sauce. In my case here, I am using a tamarind barbecue sauce, and I'll have a link for that recipe. I don't know if you guys remember, we did that a while back. Just be generous with the barbecue sauce on here. The underside first, then we're going to flip it over after a couple minutes to get the other side. Took about 3 minutes. Just going to flip these over. go in with some more of that barbecue sauce, this time on the top side. Be very generous, as I said, because we want this to be nice and sticky and gooey and all the good things that a good barbecue is supposed to have, except we're doing this in the oven. You won't believe how great, as I would normally say, how wicked this kitchen smelling. Boy, oh boy. Allow it to cool. I just took it out of the final broiling there. Got a lovely thing happening on the top there. Allow it to cool for about 10 minutes, and then you can cut through them. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com, the simplest oven barbecue ribs you will ever make. We just put it in a tin foil. We did that dry rub in the oven, let it do its thing, and the last 10 minutes, that's when we went in with the barbecue sauce. Remember to give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and check out CaribbeanPot.com for this and a ton of other recipes. You're going to love it, man. Have a good one.